Coach Morgan here from the Run Experience, bringing you week 2 of our Run Fit Challenge. Now, if you haven't checked out week 1, be sure to do so now. If you're here and you're done with week 1, congratulations on being halfway through this thing. Remember, we are here to build motivation, get you stronger, have you feeling more confident going into 2020 and tackling those goals. Now, I'm gonna go through the last 7 days right here with you on YouTube, but if you're looking for a little bit more and you wanna record your workouts and get some feedback from the community and see how everyone else in the TRE community is doing in this challenge, be sure to download our app. All right, let's kick off week 2 with our first strength workout. This is only gonna take you guys 6 minutes. We're gonna be doing 30 seconds of walking lunges, 30 seconds of bicycle crunches, and then a 30-second rest, and you're gonna repeat that 3 times. So let's take a look at what these walking lunges should look like. From the side here, roll those shoulders back, keeping that core on nice and tight, and we're gonna take a nice big step out in front of us and dropping that knee down. You wanna make sure that you have a nice 90-degree angle here. You don't wanna step in too close that your knee is going over front of your toes. You also don't want to make sure when you step out that you're not on that tightrope so you get a little off balance. You're staying nice and wide when you step out and dropping down. And then we're going to come back up and you're going to alternate right and left leg. For the bicycle crunches, we are going to be on the ground here. We want to make sure the most important thing is that we were protecting that lower back, that spine. So we're going to keep that belly button pulled in nice and tight to the spine. We're going to lay it down nice and flat, so that when I'm on the ground here, I can't stick my hand underneath my low back. I don't have that arch there. So we're gonna keep that down. Now, we're gonna show you 2 different versions here. Another thing you wanna make sure that you're doing is not pulling on the back of your neck with your hands. So I always say to you just use 2 fingers here just to give yourself a little bit of support, but not enough that you're gonna be yanking on your neck. So we'll start with our legs extended here, and we're gonna do a little bit of a rotation. We're bringing this left leg up, and we're gonna be reaching this right elbow towards our left knee. And then you can bring it down, coming back to flat. Always keeping my back nice and flat here, keeping that belly button pulled in. And we're gonna rotate to the other side and coming down. That's option number 1. Option number 2, a little bit more of a challenge, is keeping those legs off the ground the whole time. Getting a little bit of rotation, nice big breath in between each one there. Day number 2, we are talking mobility today. Now, in week 1 with Holly, you guys did a little mobility flow, little yoga, some dynamic stretching. Today, we are gonna be working on some soft tissue work. It's almost like a little bit of a massage that you get to give yourself. You can use a foam roller. I have a lacrosse ball here, but anything like that will work. A hard coffee mug, something that's going to help work out some of those tight little muscles that you have. So we are going to be working on our calves today. I know those might be a little sore from the strength that you've done and some of the running that you may have been adding in. And for me personally, I never really know that my calves are tight until I actually start using a foam roller or something like that. So my challenge to you today is we're gonna spend 5 minutes on each calf, just kind of rolling out, seeing how they feel. Maybe we need to spend a little extra time in some other areas, but just give you a brief little overview. I'm gonna have my lacrosse ball here, and I'm just gonna put my full weight of my calf on there. If this doesn't really feel like it's doing anything for you, you need a little extra, I'm gonna take my other leg and place it over top to get a little bit more pressure, dig a little bit deeper down into those muscles. Now, what I wanna do here is I wanna just start to roll around on this lacrosse ball here, and then when I find a little spot that's like a little tender, a little tense, I'm gonna just kind of sit there, I'm gonna flex my toe up and down and around, roll side to side here. I like to think of the little knots in here like a little ball of cookie dough, and I want to flatten those out. So you want to roll it in every direction to kind of help smooth everything out. Now remember, as you're foam rolling, explore all areas of your calf. I like to spend a couple minutes on the back side, a couple minutes on the inside, and a couple minutes on the outside. So kind of diversify that 5 minutes there. Now, for a little bit of a bonus challenge, if you want to go out for a 10-minute walk, jog, something like that, just to see how much better your calves actually feel after doing some of this foam rolling. Day 3, we are on our 3rd run of this challenge. For today, we're going to be working on a little bit of some faster speeds. So for this, you are going to be doing 1 minute of a nice easy jog, nothing too fast here. You should be able to talk. Then you're going to go right into 1 minute of hard running. For this 1 minute, you shouldn't really be able to talk, should be kind of pushing your boundaries just a little bit here today. Then you're gonna go into 1 minute of walking, so you get a nice little break after that. You're gonna repeat this 3 times through, trying to stay consistent with those speeds. So each time you do that easy jog, see if they're in that same pace range, see if you're going the same distance, if you're on a treadmill, something along those lines. Same thing with the hard running, and then the walking, take the cool down as you need it. At the end of those 3 rounds, you're gonna do 1 additional minute of walking just to get yourself cooled down for a total of 10 minutes. Day 4 of a week 2 challenge. We are talking nutrition today. My challenge to you this week is to try out a new recipe to cook at home. The easiest way I found to do this, to kind of test out different things, is in a stir fry. When I go to the grocery store, I think about a couple main components that are gonna go into it, which is a protein, a starch, a veggie, and the seasonings that go in it. Out of those 4, pick something different that you don't normally cook with. Everything else can be in your wheelhouse so that you don't feel like, oh my God, this is way too challenging for me. This should only take about 10 minutes of planning. Don't stress out about it too much. Just try out a little something new, make yourself a nice, healthy meal at home. Now, if you're looking for a little bit of a bonus challenge with that extra motivation that you have today, go ahead and take that mobility routine that we did earlier this week when we foam rolled our calves. Try that out again today. Maybe see if they feel a little bit different. Maybe they need to be worked on in a little different areas, but go ahead and do that for another 10 minutes today. Here we are at day number 5 and your final day of strength workouts. So we're gonna be gearing a little bit more towards upper body since we've done a lot of lower body heavy things this week. The first thing I'm gonna have you guys do is we're gonna get down on the ground and we're gonna be working on our push-up. So for this, what we wanna do is we're gonna start with our shoulders right above our wrists here. We're gonna start here and we're gonna step back up into that high plank position that you worked on with Holly last week. For this, we want to make sure that that core is on nice and tight. If you need a little bit of a wider base, you can take a bigger stance here, but we want to make sure to keep that butt squeezed nice and tight. When we go down, we're going to make sure that our elbows are not facing out to the sides. We want to keep the inside of those elbows facing forward, and we're going to drop all the way down and pushing all the way back up. As you can see, my elbows are staying nice and tight to my body here. If this is a little challenging for you, you can drop all the way down, take a little breather here, and push up off the chest, keeping that nice back tight there and pushing all the way up. Or you can drop down by dropping the knees first and going down and coming back up. We're gonna be working on those for 1 minute with a 30-second rest. Last movement we're gonna do today is we're gonna do some lateral raises. We're gonna challenge you to use some weights today. I just have 2 full water bottles here. I'm gonna use those, really no equipment needed. To start, we're gonna roll those shoulders back so that we're in a nice tall position here. We're gonna keep our core on nice and tight and we're gonna squeeze those glutes. As we have our arms down at our side, our natural tendency is to have our thumbs facing down. And when we lift our arms out to the side, we tend to raise a lot and use our neck and shoulders. And we're trying to alleviate some of that tension here. So to do that, we're gonna face our thumbs out to the side. And as we do that, it forces us to use more of our lats back in here and getting some of that tension out of the neck and shoulders. So that'll feel a lot better, I promise. We're gonna do that nice and slow and controlled up and out to the side, and nice and slow and controlled down. Make sure to keep breathing through this, keep that core on nice and tight. Your workout today is 1 minute on of the push-ups, 30 seconds of rest. 1 minute of the lateral raises, 30 seconds of rest, and you're gonna repeat that 3 times. Here we go with day number 6 of week 2. We're gonna be doing our last mobility day. And since we did a upper body heavy strength workout yesterday, today we're gonna be mainly focused on the upper body as well. So we are gonna start with 30 seconds of arm circles, going back, just big reaches here. We wanna make sure as we're standing that core stays on nice and tight, and reaching back a little bit further each and every time for 30 seconds. Then we're gonna come 30 seconds forward. Same thing, trying to just reach a little bit bigger each and every time, just feeling that nice big stretch. Gonna shake that out a little bit. We're gonna go into 30 seconds of a scapula stretch. So we're gonna pull this hand over top and try to reach down as far as we can. Just taking big, deep breaths here as we go through that. 30 seconds on the other side, stretch it out. And reaching back as far as we can, 30 seconds on the other side. Shaking that out a little bit once again. Then we're gonna take our right hand, cross over our body, taking our left hand, and just giving a nice pull right there on the back side of our shoulder. Always remembering to take nice deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Just trying to relax and kind of work everything out a little bit. And we're gonna go 30 seconds on the other side. Big deep breaths. Then, last but not least, we're gonna get down on the ground here for a nice child's pose stretch. With this, you're gonna have your knees a little bit wider so that you're able to kind of sit down into there. So kind of get yourself comfortable in this position with your legs out to the side. I like to sit in between my feet here, pointing those toes out. And we are going to reach out in front of us, hands up, big deep breaths here, sinking down into this. If you can't get this far down onto the ground, that's okay. Try to slowly bring your head and all the way down to the ground if you can. Nice deep breaths, trying to feel that stretch right in here through the lower back and all the way up through the top side of the arms. You'll spend 30 seconds, if not more, down here in that child's pose, just taking some time to kind of relax and stretch everything out. Here we are at the final day of our 14-day challenge. It is time to retest that run walk. Just like you did on the first day of this challenge, we are gonna go out and run, walk, jog, whatever it is for 10 minutes and see how far you can go. Maybe you got a little bit further than you did on that first day. Maybe you're just feeling more confident in your running, you're feeling a little bit better. Things seem to just flow a little bit easier. Either way, congratulations on finishing this challenge and sticking with it. So now that you've completed this 14-day challenge with us, we would love to know what's next for you. Maybe that looks like signing up for one of our other challenges, like the 30-day challenge. Adding a little bit more time on there and having everything mapped out and scheduled for you is a great way to start on those 2020 goals. Maybe that looks like enlisting a buddy, having them go out and try to get some more runs with you, building up that run endurance just a little bit more, and maybe even looking towards a race this year. We would love to know what's going on with you guys and what's going on with our TRE community. Go ahead and post down in the comments below how this went for you. Check in with fellow members who were right alongside you doing this challenge too. Happy New Year, everyone. Good work. And so I'm